Hey everybody, AstartesGaming here, back with the first episode in what's kind of going to be a first look and also a let's play, if it kind of catches on, of the Banner Saga 2. So, I was a huge fan of the first game. I was super excited when I found out that they were going to make a second one. If you haven't played the first, I highly recommend that you do. The story is fantastic, the artwork is fantastic, and I would say that the turn-based combat in this game is probably one of my favorite, turn-based combat mechanics, whatever you want to call it, in any game. So overall, just great gameplay, great story, great artwork. It's all fantastic. So if you haven't played the first one, check it out. At some point, I might play through the first game on my channel as well if you guys would be interested in that, but for now we're just going to take a look at the second. Obviously this game is very much story driven, so if you're not familiar with the first game in that story, I would recommend either going and playing it for yourself, or at least watching a let's play of it so that you can kind of follow along with this, because obviously it's going to pick up where that left off and you might be a little bit left behind if you're not familiar with what's going on. So, before I ramble any further, let's go ahead and jump in. And you have to choose a hero. Now, I don't have my my original save game from the previous game on this computer, so I'm going to have to choose a hero. And in my game, I let Rook... I don't know how to say this without spoiling it. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it, because... if you're watching this, I assume you're familiar with the first game. So I'm going to spoil it. Warning you now. If you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back. Okay, that was your chance. So at the end of the previous game, you have to sacrifice somebody to fire a final arrow at the boss of the game in order to save everyone. And you have to choose between these two. And I decided that Rook, the father, should make the sacrifice. And so he died. Alette lived. And so that's who I'm going to choose, sticking to my original playthrough. Although I do greatly prefer Rook as a character. So this kind of hurts, but I'm going to choose Alette and stick with my my previous choice.
Tíminn líður áfram, eins og straumþung á sem fleytir okkur áfram. Time continues washing over us, moment after moment, like waves on a coast. Some more fierce, more violent than others. So few of my kind, the giant war, remain alive. Even so, I find myself wondering if humans, while able to bear children, suffer more for the loss of loved ones. Several weeks have passed since we slew the Sundren known as Bellower, but the chaos of the world did not wither as we hoped. The world is breaking. We sail aboard hastily crafted ships for the safety of Arberain, the human capital. But the river curses us with a clear view of the dreads, assaulting another hopeless village.
Move away from those glowing rocks. This one's mine. Yikes. They went down pretty quick. No, no! To the depths with you! What are you gonna do with that tiny little buckler? Here we go. Damn, one-shotted. We'll handle the rest. Pull back. My thanks, strangers. Better to let him keep fighting. Alright, and it's going to take me through the tutorial here. I mean, I could use a little bit of a recap because it has been a while since I've played previously, but I'm very familiar with the game. I also played the little multiplayer free game that they released as well pretty extensively, so I'm decent at it, to say the least, I guess. These portraits show the order of initiative, taking turns from left to right. Your heroes are blue, the enemy is red. It's your turn to act. So, is it going to let me choose? I think it's going to tell me where to go. Movement happens before action. This ring shows that Ivor is active. The blue tiles around him show where he can move. Some heroes fill more tiles than others. The horned heroes are a race of giants called Varl who take up 4 tiles each, while humans fill a single tile. This can have a huge impact on your strategy. Yeah, they're great at filling space. Okay, so we'll have him move to here and confirm it. And to target enemy, click on the tile in which they stand. Yeah, you basically just left click for everything. And we're just gonna whack him normally because our 8. So I'll explain this really quickly. You have a choice. You can either attack their armor or their strength. Their strength is also the amount of damage that they do to you. However, whatever your strength is, when you try to hit them, their armor is subtracted from your strength. So our strength is 12. His armor is 4, therefore we do 8 damage. And so he has 7 strength left. We have enough to one-shot him without any boost. So we'll go ahead and do it. And I wish this would kind of fast forward here. Okay, yeah, so you could ramp this up by clicking these and using up willpower. He's got 9, which is quite a bit. Can I just... yeah, there we go. +1 renown, and he got promoted. That was awfully easy. He's down each time you make a kill. Your renown grows, which is used later to improve your characters. Without an enemy to reach, this dredge grunt will choose to smash an obstacle in his way. Obstacles on the combat board will make you change tactics, so plan wisely to make them work to your benefit. I think that's slightly new. There was obstacles before, but I don't know that they were destructible. So that might be something new to this game. Alright, now attack on his turn. He appears to be out of range of these enemies, but all heroes can use willpower to boost their actions, as I was kind of talking about before. So the blue tiles are his normal movement radius. The yellow is how far he can move if you're willing to spend willpower. And so moving there would cost me a single point, and since I have to move there, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Oh, it's going to cost me 2 actually. I thought because it was only 1 yellow square we would get away with only 2 there. Clicking your hero's tile at any time also bring up all of his combat options, including move, ability, attack, and end turn. Okay, we'll use his ability, and he's going to swing his axe in a circle, I believe. The ability description appears... oh, actually, you know what? Sundering Impact breaks armor, I think. I'm thinking of the green guy with the sword. He has like some like sword tornado thing. Sure, I guess we'll do that since I have no choice. That was excessive. Now we're in pillage mode, which means that the turns... normally, the turns alternate between you and the enemy. And when you hit pillage mode, that's no longer the case. So now you can see all of my characters get turns successively, whereas he would have been going every other turn until we got that. So he's going to move and smack me. I need 1 damage. Let's see, if a character does not move on his turn, he can rest to regain 1 willpower. Okay, we'll have him rest then, since he's kind of out of the game here. And what's it want me to do with her? Looks like the dredge is in some trouble. Alette won't be able to finish the job with a normal attack, but willpower can be used to boost her damage. Click the dredge to attack. We'll do this, and we need 1 more to do it. We could go up to 5 if we wanted, but we only need 3 to finish him, so that's what we'll use. Why won't it let me accept? There we go. And he's dead. The villagers' reactions range from terrified by the foes to awestruck at your rival. Their leader approaches and bows in front of Ivor. Your timing makes me think the gods have returned. Please, He stops when Ivor nods his head toward you. The man peers under your hood. A girl leads those who saved us from those things? She ordered us to land, And those things are dredge, like the ones you probably heard about as a kid. Between losing so many clansmen and this, I feel I'm not myself. I thank you, child. He whips his cloak back with a flourish. I am Aleo, the Scald, and your name? Alette, and this is Ivor. Ah, names destined for history. Sounds like the brave poet is going to use us in a few proper verses. I'll even make them rhyme given the time. Ah, I see what he did there. His smile seems genuine, as much as the concern that follows. Do you have any idea what might be causing the deep rumbling underfoot? Deep rumbling? Could be the giant serpent again? The serpent in the sun? Redormir? I'm no holy man, but joking about dead gods feels wrong. I don't think the sun serpent would break mountains and try to swallow us all. Who could say with the sun stopped in the sky like it is? Aleo looks skeptical. Tell me, did you just come from Borsgard? We heard rumor the Sunder Bellower was sacking the town. What do we want to say? We killed Bellower. Talking about Sunder will only make people panic. We should leave before the dredge regroup. Who are we speaking as? I wish... That's one thing I've always had a slight issue with, is it's never clear who you're speaking as, or at least not always clear who you're speaking as. I assume we're speaking as Alette, and I would feel like she might be a little bit touchy on that subject because it did cost her father his life. And so she probably wouldn't want to talk about it, so we're going to choose this one. We should leave before the dredge regroup. Aleo looks shocked and confused. A topic for another time, Scald. Maybe. Yeah, so obviously, he recognizes that she's maybe a little bit touchy on that subject. The Scald nods his understanding, but another question creases his brow. Leave? Not to sound ungrateful, but this place, it's all we have. It's our home. Alright, so I felt the same when Skogar was overrun. Your home is about to be destroyed by dredge. Fine, but no one else will come to save you. I mean, I don't know how jaded she's become at this point in the story, but Alette was always very kind and caring, so I feel like she could probably relate to him pretty well. So, I felt the same when Skogar was overrun. Except we had the sense to leave when we were able. But my children, you don't understand. I know exactly what it means to be a child stripped from your home and family. Aleo takes a step back before lowering his head. Packing and tending to our dead will take some time, but I'll have everyone on the ships soon. You watch Aleo join his family. Moves his hands too much when he talks. It's unsettling. You smile but say nothing. People thinking we're heroes now. The world is breaking in more ways than one. It's not the first time you've been called a hero, Ingvar. Ivor, your father's closest friend, looks unamused. He is one of the giants known as Varl and has fought dredge in the northern winters, personally killed one of their generals, the Sunder Rays, and lost an arm to the Sunder Bellower. It was actually, if you haven't seen that part in the first game, it's pretty badass because I forget how exactly he killed Rays. It was sort of a fluke. I think he got like lucky, but he became this legend because he did it. Basically through no fault of his own. He did it completely by accident, but became this legend. And so when Bellower first comes, and it's this huge like bridge assault on this like very like Helm's Deep from the Two Towers, Lord of the Rings type of like siege battle, and basically he has to go out there and fight Bellower because everybody expects him to, even though he knows like full well he's probably gonna die. He realizes that he just has no choice, because if he backs down, everybody's morale is gonna break, and that's the end of it. And he ends up surviving. He does lose his arm in the battle though, obviously, so that's why he's only got the one arm. But it's a really cool scene, just like everything that goes on in there, especially like his sort of sense of duty. So if you haven't seen that from the first game, definitely check that out. Your humor reminds me of your father's, since we were talking about things we'd rather avoid. Or sorry, since we're talking about things we'd rather avoid. I just keep hoping I'll wake up and see my dad again. I know he's gone, but I don't know how to let him go. You can't make me talk about him if I don't want to. That seems very childish. I feel like she's grown up quite a bit through the first, game's story, so I don't think that's really appropriate. The clansmen could use their strength in packing the ships. Yeah, again, I feel like she's probably a little bit touchy about that subject, so let's keep kind of deflecting. Fine, but they'll need your strength more than they'll ever need mine. He turns to leave but stops. Just don't let whatever it is inside build up. It can crush you. Even if it did, it's not like it would change anything. The giant stares down at you for a long moment. Your father gave everything to get us this far. Don't waste that. Ivor's words begin to sink in. He places his large hand on your shoulder. Leading this group isn't easy, but Rook knew you could do it if you had to. And I'm telling you, you have to. He walks toward the village, leaving you alone with your thoughts. God, I love the artwork in this game. Okay, so now we're at the clan management screen. The traveling merchants are surprisingly well stocked. Ubin, the old Varl, dubbed Scrivener, says, since Borsgard, our numbers have grown, people have scavenged for food and eaten it too. Regardless, we'll need plenty of supplies considering our destination. Where can I find the merchants? You can't miss them, he says, a group of tents they call a market. What kind of supplies will we need? Stuff like food and meat for the trip. I don't know that you need mead, like, that's nice to have around. Mead is honey wine if you don't know what that is, but it's pretty tasty, especially if you heat it up with like some mulling spices in a pan. But I don't know that it's, I guess maybe they can't drink the water, it's too riddled with bacteria or something. The merchants have got a few interesting items as well, but folks can't eat those in lean times. You'll have to choose wisely. Even your renown will only stretch so far. Thanks, Ubin. Of course, he says. Oh, almost forgot. There's something ruffling the feathers of the ravens, the mercenaries who followed us from Borsgard. Chat with their leader, Bulwark. But be careful, he's not like other Varl. Alright, this medallion gives you information about your caravan, including population, supplies, renown, and the number of days that have passed. This banner indicates that you have enough supplies to provision your caravan for 9 days of resting or travel. A larger population requires more supplies per day to survive. You can acquire additional supplies at this market. Click on the market to see what's available. Okay, it's going to walk me through this too. These are the supplies the merchant has available. He will give you 5 per renown, and you need 12 supplies per day to survive. Okay. This shows what you have. Your 111 supplies will last for 9 days. You have 19 renown available to purchase supplies. Click this button to add 15 or more supplies to your caravan. The area to the left will show how these supplies affect your caravan. So it wants me to do at least that. And it's going to cost me quite a bit of my renown. We'll confirm it. Markets also have items available. These items are equipped by your heroes and can provide a great advantage. The required hero rank is shown in the red circles. Okay. When finished, exit the market by clicking this button. Let's see if any of these are worth grabbing. If not the true face of a dredge, it is close enough to raise their ire and the unease of friends. +2 drawing aggro, +2 to armor, and +2 strength resist. It's pretty good, but it requires a level 8. I don't think we have anybody even close to that. Obsidian power. The fragments of shattered dredge obsidian, carefully ground to a powder, will sometimes explode when applied to a weapon. So knockback on strength attacks of 4. Figurine representing the horse of a fabled archer. +2 range distance, +2 break talent ranks. I'm not sure what the BRK is. It could be break. I'm not sure. It could be like armor break, maybe. The blackfish, a stone resemblance of the elusive native of the vast. It even smells like the sea. +2 to movement, +5 to break, -5 to strength attack. So that really ups your armor attack, but really hurts your strength attack. And Den... is that an I or an L? Let's go with an L. Dengler's Eye. A small stone thought to bring luck until the tooth it's tied to falls out. 2 strength resist, +1 arm, -1 move. Let's see. These are all really, really pricey. This one's actually pretty good, but it's gonna cost me like all of my renown, and I don't know if we have anybody who can use it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get one more thing of supplies. Actually, how many? I want like 12 days worth. So we'll do that. And I think that'll be it. Okay, we got some people to talk to. Let's see what everybody has to say. I think he actually died in my playthrough, so I don't remember, to be honest, but let's go talk to him. You find Gil engaged in conversation with Prince Luton and wait to approach. I figured it wouldn't hurt to ask. I didn't know there were rules on how to ask. But now you do. My father clearly needs to enforce customs across the backlands of his kingdom. Oh. Out here where we earn a name for ourselves instead of being born with a title? Luton, surprised by the comment, sees you're standing nearby. He straightens his posture. Your words are getting the better of you. I'll attempt to forget what you've just said. The prince nods to you and walks away. What was that all about? Gil looks shocked to see you. Nothing. Just becoming a Kingsguard requires more than skill. You need a name. Kingsguard? You're looking forward to Aberrane, aren't you? Just thinking about the future, you know. He suddenly looks concerned. Alette, listen. I'm sorry for not fighting by you during the attack. You don't need... No, I do. I promise your father I'd always protect you. I don't know. Should we... I mean, we're not going to say this. That's just out of character. I don't need protecting, but I could use a friend. You'll have more chances to keep your promise. He definitely will. Things happen fast, so I didn't even notice. No. Nah, she doesn't need protecting. I get that, and we are friends, but he searches for the right words. The point is, I'm around if you need me. Thanks, Gil. That means a lot. You give him a brief smile before walking away. Alright, what else have we got? Let's go talk to her. Oddleif, a friend and mentor, is demonstrating fletching an arrow to a few people as you approach. Give us a moment, will you? The group walks away as Oddleif stands and wipes loose feathers from her tunic. These people owe you their lives. Your decision to stop here and save every one of them. That seems like a weird sentence. Well, our clansmen all agreed. Don't be naive. Saving people is what you do, what your father did. Those under this banner agreed because they follow you. Her tone is forceful and you almost smile to break the tension, almost. Alette, they respected Rook, and that respect is passed on to you. But give them any reason to doubt you and it'll vanish. But I don't really know what I'm doing. Neither did your father, not always, but the caravan saw him as confident and competent. Yeah, but why? How? Be decisive. For now, while you're proving yourself, keep your emotions private. Just my advice. I think so far we kind of have. She stares at you for a drawn-out moment before nodding. Her demeanor softens. I wanted to discuss the clansmen. They're good at scavenging for food, and the more we have, the more food they'll find. Training some of them to fight will help keep the others safe, but it takes time and I'm not sure much of that. Oh, I'm sorry, and I'm not sure we have much of that time to spare. Sorry, my microphone is in front of the corner of the screen. As our leader, you're expected to decide how many fight and how many look for food. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Odd. You turn to leave, but Oddleif stops you. She grabs you in a tight hug. Brooke had a way of making it easy for all of us to be stronger. Her words seem to be as much for her as they are for you. And now we need to talk to the leader of the Ravens. The Varl mercenary leader, Bolverk, and a rather large female fighter are talking to Juno, a member of the Spellweaving Menders Council. Bolverk looks annoyed. Nothing unusual. There's no haggling on this. You already accepted the offer in Borsgard. Get this one to do it. Get me to do what? If Juno is surprised by your presence, it doesn't show. She continues to stare straight at the Varl. Alette is seeing to the survival of this caravan, something I doubt you care to do. She's a little small for such a big role, isn't she? Don't talk about me like I'm not here. You're right. Sorry for being rude. Unfortunately, this is a private matter. Her look at Bulwark says she expects him to keep it private. Avon needs my help with healing the wounded, but we should leave soon. See Hakon at the docks when you're ready. Juno leaves without another word. Fane Valka. One of these days, Claw and Fang will get thirsty for Spellweaver blood. Claw and Fang? His axes. The large axe heads are polished, the blades sharp, and the cheeks scarred from plenty of use, but it's the gray handles that stand out. They're unlike anything you've seen before. So you're leading this rabble now? Only to Aberrang. Then it's King Meinjolf's job. Like he's got the answer to any of this. He'd royally piss himself if he ever saw a dredge. The pig-tailed fighter laughs. What's your name? I'm Folka, a shield maiden in charge of keeping the ravens alive. Bulwark gives her a stern look, but she doesn't back down. I already know who you are, chieftain. Do you have a better idea than Aberrang? Yeah, make a new plan. You think some walls and a king are going to save you? Bulwark snorts and turns his attention to a large, sealed cart behind him. His bare-cloaked back indicates the conversation is over. Alright. Normal caravan morale does not affect your hero's willpower in battle. Maintain sufficient supplies in the rest of the camp to improve morale. So when the morale gets bad, your heroes will lose willpower. I think we're done though. Let's go here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Well, our morale went up. Okay. Not so bad, I suppose. Let's go ahead and leave. The wooden planks of the well-used dock creak as you walk across them. Hakon, a warrior recently acknowledged as king of the Varl, paces on the dock. Not sure I was made for this, he says as you approach. Commanding in battle is one thing, but deciding how many chickens we need to bring? I'm just as lost as you are at this. Never thought I'd have something in common with a human girl, Hakon says, smiling. But you still have to prove to your people a girl can lead. I don't envy you that battle. He looks around and shrugs. Look like we're all ready. Let's sail. Let's go ahead and depart. After lighting the funeral pyre, the last villagers find seats on your rickety longships built of scrap wood scavenged in Borsgard. The ravens find space around a large cart on their black-sailed vessels. Oars slowly move all the boats into the river's current. So obviously there's something going on with that, like, sealed cart that the ravens are guarding. The complaints of a few are growing. What does she really know about getting us to Aberrang safely? A smith says. A few others chime in with agreement. Her father was something else, but her? She should be looking for a husband, not telling me what to do. Some laugh, others encourage him. Oddleif looks at the group of men before turning to you. She seems interested in hearing a response. Alright, we can ignore them. Leave now before I decide not to let you. Let's honor her father. I feel like she would want to do that. My father was great. I hope to be remembered as fondly. To Rook, someone shouts, and to his blood flowing through Alette, and the caravan joins in cheering, drowning out the complaints of the smith and his men. Oddleif gives you a faint smile. Morale's improved. Alright guys, so I think we're out of time. I'm going to go ahead and break off the episode here, and we'll pick back up. Oh great, let's finish this conversation. Aleo looks ill. At least it's not the brackish sea, he whispers to himself as he steps around rowers and baggage to speak with you. I'm not sure we were all built for aquatic voyages, he says, and I hear Aberrang is quite a distance away. My people could use a few hours rest on solid ground. The hopeful looks from others sway you, and you signal for the ships to make land. Would you mind telling me why the capital is our destination, Aleo asks. Aberrang's walls have never been breached. The Valko, Juno, Sorry, the Valka Juno says the Menders there can protect us. It's the furthest place from the dredge. It just is. Now help Burrow. Let's go with this. Abering's walls have never been breached. Ah, of course. The growing walls should certainly keep the dredge army at bay, shouldn't they? You say nothing. Dredge, Leo says, almost in awe. Man and Varl's storied foe from oh so ever long ago. But they're real and here. How have they made it so far south? His glance at the Varl is met with both anger and shame. The longship rocks gently, and the Skald grabs a rope to steady himself. If only we had the fabled horses to ride upon, we'd outpace the dredge and be on sound footing. His dramatized misery is almost as amusing as his thanks when he steps back onto land. So morale is improved. Alright, this is the map of the world. You can explore it by dragging the mouse to pan and using the mouse wheel to zoom. The location of your caravan is indicated by Alet's icon. The caravan recently embarked from Aleo's village and is traveling westward down Ormsa River. And there's Borsgard. Prior to arriving at Aleo's village, the caravan had hurriedly embarked from Borsgard in the wake of the devastating siege laid by Bellower and his armies. And so if we click this, we'll get some lore. An aging and senile mess of a city that can't remember whether it wants to sell you something or steal everything you've got. While Ormsdalr grew early into an important hub of trade, its twin city Borsgard became the place to buy things nobody else was willing to hawk. It's greatly supported by the potent items harvested in Reinavik and Tistel, and plagued by huge disparities between the extremely rich and the suffering poor. Okay. Can we end this tutorial now, please? The caravan is attempting to reach Ormsdalr by river on the way to Aberang. Click on Ormsdalr to find out more about it. As Storm led some of the first men east, Ormsdalr was one of the most important places they settled, nestled in the crook where the Ormsa River splits. If Borsgard and Ormsdalr were twins, Ormsdalr would be the righteous brother trying to keep his evil twin from hurting anyone else. That's funny. What else do we have here? Well, there's our target, Aberang. Reaching Aberang, the human capital, is the ultimate goal of the caravan. It is hoped that the walls of the ancient city will provide safety against a deepening catastrophe. I get the feeling we'll get there and the place is just going to be like razed to the ground. From humble beginnings to the eventual seat of power for the king, Aberang is the most populated and contested city throughout the human lands. Its towering obsidian walls have been pulled from the depths by the weaving power of the Menders. As each new generation of residents builds another ring of walls, the city continues to grow larger, more indulgent, and more dangerous. Now what? The world map is covered with many locations and doesn't hold much lore. You can explore the map at any time, clicking on locations for more information. Alright guys, so we went a little bit over, but that's fine. It's the first episode. I'll let it run a little bit long. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to more. I know I am. I love the first game. I so far love the second. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be just as good. So hopefully you guys are just as excited as I am. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to share my videos however you guys see fit. And I will see you guys back here for part 2 of our Banner Saga 2 Let's Play.